What's up, everybody? I'm Bopete.
And I'm Taminko Jakylo with Cool Bird Studios.
And today we cooking up with
Jakylo.
What's up, man? How you feeling? I'm doing pretty good, man. Doing pretty good.
Great to meet you. Great to meet you.
Likewise.
So to kick things off, for the people who don't know, where are you from?
Well, been born and raised in Chillsburg, Alabama.
Okay. So what was it like growing up there?
Well, it's a very small town. Not a lot of atmosphere, but it's very, everybody friendly. Everybody get along, and just pretty much self-explanatory.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah, man, I feel that same way. It's like that. I'm from Sylacauga, Alabama, so I can definitely feel that.
Oh,
well, I can't relate. I grew up in Jackson, Mississippi, in the hood. So
look at you.
Yeah. So this is definitely different for me. So
Right. Right.
Okay, so what influenced you to make music?
Well, I've always had a passion for music ever since I was a child. When me and my mom, we used to listen to church records and stuff like that, and right away, I would have the curiosity of how was this created, how was that created, and of course it led off into my adulthood, and of course once time progressed, I pretty much want to get into the architect of it, science of it, and
Yeah. So did you like? Would you be able to hear music in your mind or melodies and things like that?
Well, see, I've always been told that music is pretty much can be considered therapeutic. It heals the soul.
Yeah.
And so
Gotcha.
Yeah, I definitely feel that. Like whenever I make majority of my music, a lot of my music it's from pain or something that you're going through that you're trying to get over.
Yeah.
Sometimes you be rapping and singing to try to motivate yourself in the future, anything. But shoot, I can definitely feel that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Are there any like producers in the industry that you look up to, that you've been following, that that kind of help?
Well,
your
I
journey?
can say it was a few producers that I have on my plate. You have like DJ Premier. You have, of course, Dr. Dre.
Yeah.
I don't know if too many people know this guy, but his name was Easy Mo B. The way he transitioned all his samples and the way he does the chop thing and all that, it was just inspiration of how I saw the way he pretty much, the architect of it, of the way he put the creativity, if you would, the way he put it together. And I was like, man, I said, well, that was just like quick inspiration that made me want to, try that technique.
Gotcha. Awesome. So let me ask you this. So when you're feeling those melodies, what's your first impulse to do?
Well, my first impulse is to basically, get a rhythm going in my head because it starts from the mind first. Yeah. And once, you get it together from the mind, that's when you have to try to put it together as far as when it becomes a reality.
So you at the refrigerator.
Exactly.
Looking for, getting ready to get an egg.
Exactly.
I hear something.
Yeah.
You gotta hurry up.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so it's like I said, so pretty much like I said, it's a mind thought thing, once that mind thought process comes together and you put out, to reality, that's when, the creative juices start flowing, and it's almost like a puzzle, it's just pieces and pieces get put together.
I understand that because as I'm a writer, so that's the same thing. I could feel something and like, okay, it may not come back.
Right.
Write it down.
Exactly.
Write it down. What did I say? What did I say?
Exactly.
So I got you.
I can definitely feel that. Like I'm the same way. Like whenever I think about something, but see, I try to save it. I try to save it to where until I get in the studio.
Yeah.
I try to save, so I let it build up, and then it's like, all right, when it's time to record, it's like I just release it.
Yeah. Like a memory bank.
In a sense, but like.
So you do a lot of freestyle.
Yeah, I freestyle
really?
a lot. Like majority of my music is freestyle.
No way.
Yeah, like majority of the music that I make is freestyle. I've probably written a few hooks here and there, but like whenever I freestyle, I think it's like I just go off of like boom, I kicking it with the fellas or something, and then whenever it's time to lock in, It's like okay, I just think about like the past weekend. It's like so. It's like okay, we just go off of that.
And that's a good point because sometimes when it comes to creativity, it forms in it where it arrives in the form of a freestyle anyway. You know, it's just a matter of how you catch it, capture it, and put it into realization.
Okay, I got that. Yeah.
Yeah, because even those memories of like, just like how you saying like going to the refrigerator, even those memories of going to the refrigerator, like you'll just think of something, it'll make you like kind of remember like, I thought about this when I was
right.
So I could definitely feel that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So like with your creative process, like what do you start off with? Because you got a boatload of gear. If y'all ever check out his Instagram, y'all can see all of his producer gear and everything like that. He got a lot of gear. So whenever you start off making a beat, like what's your first what's one of the first steps that you do?
Well, I usually, you know, you have a lot of producers that start off with the drums. I don't like starting off with the drums first. I always start off with the melodic melodies because sometimes, you know, you can kind of like, you know, categorize on how you want that production to be if you start off with the melodic melodies. Yeah. Because sometimes, you know, if you start off with the drums first, you know, and a lot of times too, when you're dealing with artists, you know, you have to build around the expectations of how they want to deliver, so to speak.
Do sometimes you have to hear their lyrics first, or do you automatically have the beat first, and then they can select from the beat?
Well, it used to be like that to a certain extent. Sometimes when a person hear a beat first, you know, that creates inspiration of how they want to write.
Okay.
You know, just like I was saying, you know, I never start off with drums first.
Gotcha.
Because you never know it. Because if you start off with drums, it's gonna force an artist to rap this way or sing this way. So sometimes you have to just kind of like go with the flow.
And the melody puts the feel in it.
Exactly.
It puts the feel in it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then it causes the artist to actually think about it.
Right.
And ride the beat.
Exactly.
I got you.
Exactly.
Okay.
So, what do you have in store? Like, what's some of the upcoming, or you know what? Let's talk about the beat pack. So,
yes.
So what can we give them about the beat pack?
Wait a minute. So what's a beat pack?
Okay.
Somebody tell me what a beat pack is. I can't be the only one out here that knows what a beat pack is.
Well, see, the beat pack is basically it's a combination of different samples, a combination of different loops, different patterns, if you would, because you know you have a lot of up and coming producers, you know that want to kind of get into this realm. So, for example, like with the beat pack that I'm working on, my ultimate goal is to come up with something that's going to inspire up and coming producers to where when they get in their creative juices, or if you want to call it that, they're going to hit a certain note, and it's going to instantly give them inspiration to want to get their creative juices flowing.
So is it almost like short snippets of music?
Pretty much, yes.
Okay.
Pretty much, yes.
They call it beat pack.
Yeah.
Well, is that the right terminology? Beat pack?
Beat pack, beat sampler.
Samplers.
Pick five.
Pick five. Hey. Yep. Oh yeah.
Okay, so do you have like a favorite beat, like your all-time favorite beat that you made?
It's kind of hard to say, but if I had to answer that right away, I would say it would be something that would be more R&B-ish, something more laid back, heartfelt. You know, I mean, I can get my trap on too. Now, don't get me wrong. Don't let it be fooled.
Yeah.
But as far as when it come down to like feeling it deep down in the soul, I kind of.
So were
my
you
strong suit is the
you
R&B.
were the young man that the teacher in the classroom got on to for beating on the
Right.
You that guy.
Right.
You that guy.
They sat all the way in the back.
You got that whole class right there, you got the beat going.
Yep.
Okay, that's this guy.
Yep. Guilty.
All right, so you just signed with Quantum Records. How does it feel? How is it?
It feels great. I mean, I got to tell you, I tip my hat off to Quantum Records. I tip my hat off to you because I say this all the time. Sometimes it's just when you find yourself in a situation to where you don't know where, if you're going to be here today or you're going to be here tomorrow or whatever, but sometimes you just have to live your life to the fullest, and just surround yourself around positive people, people that want to just look out for you, help you out, Yeah, I mean, it's It's pretty much self-explanatory.
You know, and I was just having a conversation with one of my authors, and we were just talking about how you can have a platform but may not have the presence. And sometimes you don't have both.
Right.
And someone may have built their brand up and you can fit and flow right into it. You know, I think that's good to work together like that without thinking, well, I can just do this on my own. I don't need to be with nobody. But then you have somebody that has a presence, and somebody that has a platform. You're like, okay, boom, let's work together. Let's get it done. So that's really good.
Well, it's like I've always said, you know, you can have an idea, but you can't really execute that idea without a team.
You cannot. You cannot.
I mean, it's the same thing with basketball. You know, everybody talk about LeBron James, but you know, and Michael Jordan. You know, when he was in his prime, but Michael Jordan didn't win them games. LeBron James, he didn't win them games. The team helped him win them games.
You got to set it up.
Yeah.
You got to set it up.
Yeah.
And then that even goes to like practice, you know, meetings, to film everything. You know, all of that's important, especially when it's game time. That way it's like, okay, y'all, we done practice, we done prep for this, y'all, we ready.
Because I'm a firm believer in what you do in the boardroom or on the court, at practice or wherever you are. When you get ready to go out, that's what you're going to see.
I believe in you, you believe in me, and we all got to believe in each other.
That's it.
That's right.
Yep.
And see, a lot of times too, whenever it's come with teams, sometimes you'll have one person that don't want to see the next one winning, or that's when it comes to like stuff starts to fall down. But at the end of the day, you should be trying to pick up this person the same way they picking you up. Like it's the same way.
Without a hidden agenda.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's so true.
Yep.
And I'm learning myself to build a team with people who are stronger in certain areas. Like I may have I know in my mind what I want to have done, but I know I need a stronger person in that area to get it done. So you link up, you know.
That's what Quantum Records did with
Jakylo. That's what it's all about.
Because a lot of people think all the time, like, Bopete, you make beats. And I do make beats, but I don't make beats like often as I should or all the time. I do it whenever I just feel like it. But Jakylo makes beats. He's a producer. Like that's strictly what he does.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying?
So you may be great at a thing, but that doesn't mean that's your primary thing.
Yeah, right, exactly.
You know,
that's
so you may have to outsource or partner with someone who that's all they live and die and sleep for. That's what they do. They were built for that. So I think a lot of times people want to be 100 in everything. You can't.
In everything.
You cannot.
You can't.
You'll be thin and you'll underproduce.
Yep, that's true. Now I think it is possible. But be knowledgeable in every aspect. There we go. Be knowledgeable in every aspect.
And we're multi-talented.
But
it feels good when you can trust a strong asset on the team. It's like, okay, I know he got that, so I don't have to worry about it.
Right.
Yeah. Are there any struggles from being like a producer? Like, you know, like you do the producing and stuff like that. Are there any struggles?
Well, there are definitely struggles. I mean, when it comes down to the process of when you get those creative juices flowing, there will be times to where I would, you know, sometimes peak real high. And I will peak real low. But the objective is to stay in the middle. You always stay in the middle.
I think that's common. I think so. Especially for creatives. You know, one day we like 110, just 110, you know, you come up with everything. Then 2 days later, like you said, you plateau a little bit and then learn how to, you know, work it back in.
And I was also told sometimes, you know, I'm not a machine, you know, I am a man, so there will be times to where I may fumble at times, but sometimes it's just when you try to improvise and try to reevaluate, you know, you'll get there, you know, I mean, eventually, you know.
I like how you put that. We will fumble, you know, and that's just in the decision process, trying to figure out if you should or shouldn't be doing a thing,
And that's something a lot of people don't speak on too.
Right.
Sometimes everybody be like, "Oh, I got all my songs fire, or all my beats fire." Like, so we all make good songs, we make bad songs. That's where the practice come in. You gotta keep on practicing until you, boom, make that hit. Keep on going until you make that hit.
Best friend, have a listening party, and you'll know who. You'll know what's hot, what's not.
That's
because my motto is, like I always say, when it comes down to beat production, you're always going to be only good until you make that next beat.
That's it. That's it.
I like that. So, okay, so we know music is your mantra, okay? Now, are you like relationship? Like, how does that work when you are focused on music and then you may have a significant other? Does that interfere with anything, or is that person understanding, or is it even okay if I ask that?
Well, I mean, it's definitely okay that you ask that. When it comes to relationships and, you know, as far as having some kind of goal and ambitions and stuff like that, it definitely has to play a part as far as it being a mutual situation, because when you have one that's, you know, pretty much ambitious and the other one is not, it sometimes have the tendency to cause friction.
Yes,
you know?
it does. Yes.
And, you know, but of course, you know, now there's always a situation where you would have to have, you know, multiple conversations to where, you know, you would have to have a crystal clear understanding, because it's just like when you meet someone and they have to know what they're signing up for.
That's correct.
You know, once they come into the realm of what it is that you do, or vice versa.
Yeah.
So
that's why you tell my husband, say, you know what you got. So
right.
If I'm up 2-3 in the morning working on a project, I got books all over the bed.
Right.
You already know what this is.
Right.
Like, so it's nothing new. It's nothing new, you know.
Right.
I definitely agree with that. You gotta know what you're signing up for. You gotta understand the boundary in that, because when someone's dating a creative, there are gonna be times when we don't say nothing.
Right.
You know,
Right.
we just in a mode of, you know, doing things. Yeah.
I mean, they're gonna be sleepless nights.
Yes.
Wonder where, you know, well, when this person's over here, this person's over here.
Yeah.
You know, it'll be times where it seem like, you know, it may somewhat be a divide and conquer, but in the end, you know, you gotta have that understanding.
You gotta have an understanding.
You know,
communication.
Communication is key.
Yes. My thing is, you already know.
Yeah.
You knew this. You knew this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Cool. How does spirituality play with? Because I know you said you and your mother, was it grandmother, started out with music in the church.
Mother.
Your mother started out with music, and now because you're this big adult now, how does keeping your spirituality relate to you producing the music and staying on track?
Well, it's all about constantly having positive vibes.
Yeah.
You know, you got to have positive vibes. I mean, no room for negativity, because once you allow yourself to allow a negativity into your life, then somehow it has a tendency to try to, it's almost like a cancer, you know, it has to be removed.
Yeah.
But if you allow it to come in, then next thing you know, there will be, you know, troublesome measures that will come into play.
You believe in meditation and prayer and
most definitely. Definitely.
You know, because a lot of times I think a stigma is that the black men don't pray or give God their time. But I think that people do it in their way. I don't think that people need to, that it has to be normalized to be a certain way is what I'm trying to say. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, and especially young black men, you know, they just think that you guys don't do that.
Right.
But you do. You do. I even hear it in your music. So.
Every day.
Yeah. Every day. It's highly necessary.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
especially if you're, you know, especially if you're on a mission.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like if you're on a mission, like you can't do it by yourself.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
And the creativity comes from him. So.
That's it. That's it.
Because even when I'm working on a project, I'd be like, okay, I got writer's block. I can't think. So, you know, Lord, help me. You know, bring this thing all down now. So, you know, so I definitely understand that.
What is your objective like for the industry? Like, are you looking to, you know what I'm saying, just get like a few placements, or like you looking to, you know, build this up to where, okay, you got like, you know, other producers and stuff like that? Like, what's your objective?
Well, my objective is definitely to, you know, be on the map. And when it comes down to placements, it definitely helps the situation, but you know, at the end of the day, you know, when it comes down to the objective, it's always about just staying locked in, you know, staying, you know, keeping your best foot forward, staying 10 toes down, always working, always on the grind, and who knows, sometimes you have to just let nature take its course, you know, if good things come out this, it will come out, you know.
Who would you like to make a song for? Or beat for? In the industry right now, somebody on the podcast. Who would be like, I'll make a beat for that person? Who would be the person?
I'll have to say my man Nas.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I have to say my man Nas. I definitely rock with Nas.
Yeah.
He been doing it for a long time.
Yeah.
Shout out to Nas.
Nas is very lyrical.
And I don't know. I have a lot of I do have a lot of favorites who I wouldn't mind making beats for. I would say Big Boy from Outkast.
Oh, yes.
Definitely T.I.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. But,
yeah.
Yeah.
Big Boy on one of your beats would be pretty fly.
Yeah.
I would like that.
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
So, like, did your upbringing play a role in, like, your creative process, or, like, did it affect your work?
Well, I would have to say it kind of did in a sense, because usually when we, you know, like when it comes to reality, everybody have their trials and tribulations of what they go through in life. So sometimes, you know, when you have to sometimes take the good with the bad. I mean, just like I said, it's just part of life, you know. When you experience dramatization, sometimes that helps with the music, with the creative process, because, I mean, let's just call a spade a spade.
Yeah.
You know, even in a perfect world, you know, there are always going to be some kind of flaws somewhere, you know, and, you know, without that, you know, what would we have to talk about?
Correct.
Man, I was just going through something like that the other day. I was like, you know, if it was easy, then it'd be, to me, I think it'd be harder to achieve though. That's why it's like people like us, it's hard to get there, but it's making you stronger along your journey. You know what I'm saying? I hope I said that right.
Look, kind of like Kirk Franklin. You guys got a chance to see Father's Day with Kirk Franklin?
No,
you guys got to check that out. You got to check it out. So he had very hard upbringing. Just found out his father.
Yes,
Y'all seen
that.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Did I say the name wrong? Oh.
No.
Okay, but the thing about it is, you know, and you see how successful he is in his music, but all the pain that came with it, you know. And so, like you guys were talking earlier, sometimes that pain comes out through the music, through the beats and everything. So, and I think that's where the best work comes from, when you're feeling that thing and you start creating, you know.
And see, and that's the point I was making earlier within this interview, you know, when I said when it comes down to music, you know, it can be very therapeutic, and it pretty much heals the soul, because no matter what you're going through,
exactly.
You know, I mean, it just goes back to the beginning of time, just like when it was said, you know, make a joyful noise.
Yeah, that's right.
To the Lord.
That's right. That's right.
And I also heard it saying too that if you ain't never been through nothing, then it's gonna be hard to be successful.
That's
in order
right.
to be successful, you gotta take the losses.
You gotta take that hit.
You gotta go
You gotta take that hit. You gotta take that hit.
A
lot of people just see the greatness. They see the production.
Yeah, they see the end.
The end result, but they don't know. Like,
they don't understand the struggle, the in between.
And the thing that makes us different is we just kept going.
Right.
You know, a lot of them just give up. You know.
And people like us, we fall in love with the journey.
Yes.
It's the journey, not the end goal.
It's the journey.
That's what people see.
Yeah, because then you think, like, I see myself where I'm going in the black Rolls Royce. I see that.
Yeah.
Right.
But when I get there, you know, will I have attained it all, or is it something else that I want? You know what I mean?
Now I need a Bentley. Like, it's gonna be always something.
And it's not because we're doing it just to get the material things. It just comes with it.
Yeah.
You know, you're just celebrating what God has been able to afford us with. You know. And it's all to give Him glory anyway, right? Yeah, it's testimony tools.
Yeah. And then that journey is gonna make you appreciate it even more. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you get there.
That's
and
right.
All the hard work done been paid off.
That's right.
You
look back and you see another young struggling artist, writer, publisher trying to come up. You like, you can do it.
Man, I'm telling you.
You can do that.
I'm telling you.
But you gotta have that grit. Grit.
That's it.
You gotta have grit.
You gotta be built for it.
You gotta be built for it.
Yeah.
You gotta be built for it.
Everybody's not built for it.
No, it's not. No, it's not. This is industry, the creative industry is one that, you know, because we artists, we sensitive about our craft.
Right. Oh yeah.
And Erykah Badu said it best, right? But at the same time, you know, as you grow and you come through these things, you learn to develop that alligator skin where it does not hurt as much. Yeah. You take the constructive criticism and you keep pushing. Because I'm sure like you said earlier, every beat ain't fire. You know, you're like, okay, this ain't it. This ain't it. You know, and you'll know when it is because somebody else will second the emotion, right?
Well, see, I used to, like back in like my beginning stage of being a creator, you know, I used to find myself being guilty a lot to where I would like beat myself up a lot if I don't have this certain sound the way I need, you know, and sometimes I'll scrap a lot, but then sometimes I just tell myself, I say, well, you know what? Rome wasn't built in a day.
That's true.
You know,
that's true.
So sometimes it's just all about the process of how you come about it. You know, you can't rush greatness.
You got that right.
You cannot rush greatness.
It's like wine in it.
Exactly.
You know, because I was looking at some old graphics that I did like 5 years ago. I was like, dang, I did that. I look cheap. Look. You know, so, you know, you like, okay, I come a long ways, you know. Like, dang.
So, like, how did you first learn how to make beats? Like, what was that process like?
Well, I did a lot of research. I watched a lot of videos, a lot of tutorials, if you would. And, I mean, like I said, it was just self-explanatory, you know. Once you learn, it's almost like, well, I don't want to go the cliche route, like it's like riding a bike, you know. Once you learn, you know.
But you had a love for it though. It was your heart. You can't just sit and watch videos and look at tutorials. You know, you'll yarn and go eat some Fruit Loops or something. You gotta like really want to do that. Yeah.
I mean,
so that's hours.
I mean, because like I said, once you it's like you do what you got to do to perfect the craft that you want.
That's right. That's right.
And with that being said, you know, to answer your question, like I said, I watched a lot of tutorials. I did a lot of studying. You know, just trying to learn the ins and outs. You know, the do's and don'ts. And so, but as time progressed, you know, and when it comes to that prime example, like when it comes down to technology, I noticed how it's starting to get more less complex because I come from the era of where they was, you know, take a sample from a vinyl and sign it to a certain.
That's what I tell my son, right? That's a sample. They can't produce it.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell you right now, I tilt my hat off to those producers from back in the day because I'm telling you the way they was doing it, man.
Yeah,
they went through.
You think about the beginning of Papa Was a Rolling Stone.
Yeah,
have it come on. That
yeah, man.
You know, then they add in those beats with that. Yeah.
Well, I tell you another proposition. Like when people was in studios and when they took that record and you have like a live band in the next room. Yeah. And as the record is cutting, you know, like in other words, if the drummer or the keyboardist messes up, they have to scrap that record and put another one on it.
Yeah.
Do it all over.
So now you can push a button.
Yeah, just push a button.
How you do it in that noise? You say that ain't it.
Same thing with vocals. I mean, if you don't get through a one take, it's like you got to start all the way over. So now you had this thing like what they call punch in, punch out, punch in, punch out.
So now if they do one whole recording, you can just say what you want to take out. I want to take out this one line. I can just cut, take it out. They fill it in and replace it.
Wow. The magic behind the scene.
Yeah, the architect of beat making.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about AI, artificial intelligence?
Oh gosh.
Oh man. You know what? I'm gonna say this. Okay, AI is AI, but it'll never be able to take over when it comes to the mind thought. I mean, because at the end of the day, AI kind of puts that preposition to where it kind of helps you start, but when it comes down to the finishing process, it's always going to be that human mind that's going to, you know what I'm saying?
It should be used for inspiration.
Right.
You know, because even with writers, you know, you got AI, I'm like, wait a minute now, you trying you going too hard.
They got it for engineers too.
I didn't know they had them engineers you?
Yeah,
oh yeah.
Got it now. You can just put your song into a system and it do everything for you. It's like, it's ready.
Get out of here.
Yeah, man, shit.
Yeah.
And then like they're gonna have it to where you can type in a mood. Like, I feel chill right now. And it's gonna be AI creating a chill beat. And then
and that's how they have it too. When I'm creating something, they have AI. They'll say, describe what type of business it is. Describe, use keywords you want to use. And I'm thinking, oh my God.
And I get that when it comes down to a starting preference. But when it comes down to the end of the process, it's like you're always gonna have the last say something.
Because after a while, it'll start sounding like assembly line. Start sounding assembly line-ish. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because all the terminology is the same. You can't feel that funk in the words, or in your case, the music. So.
It's like the you in it.
Okay.
I ain't never looked at it.
I was like, wait a minute, that's not my, I still need some of me, so I don't prefer to use it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Now, of course, a lot of people call it cheating, but in a nutshell, it is cheating. But it's all about how you use it, how you finish
Maybe
it.
even for inspo, just to get you started.
Just to get you started.
Just to get you started.
AI. Oh yeah.
So like, how has your style changed over time? Like, can you tell the difference from whenever you first started to now?
Well, I definitely can tell it's been a difference because, like I said, again, with today's modern technology, I wouldn't say it's worse. I would definitely say it's better because at the end of the day, I was telling a friend of mine the other day, that comes from the same realm that I come from. So like, I was born in the 70s. I'm just gonna put that out there.
The what now?
In the 70s.
Okay. Well,
and and so with that being said, a person asked me, because he was real blunt about it. He was like, well, I really don't want a computer doing everything, because it kind of takes the fun out of it. I said, yes and no. You can't really say that because at the end of the day, it's like when you think about it, all it is it just adds on to the process of what we're already doing, and it makes it better. I'm not ashamed to say, I'm with today's modern technology as far as keeping up with the times.
You got to.
Because, and of course, that's what keeps you relevant.
Yeah, that's true. And it saves time.
It definitely saves time. Yeah. Definitely saves time.
Yeah. And then to go back to like how everything is created, especially like they used to like one studio session probably last all day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now you can have them about an hour. So.
Don't say that. Everybody be like, oh, I thought you said, Bopete said it'd be over in an hour.
Man. Hey, come on, get a few.
Yeah, there you go. Come get a few.
Yeah. 4 hours available.
Yes.
Message.
Right. So how did you guys meet, or what's the story behind that?
Well,
two artists,
you want to go first?
No, I want you to tell them. Give them the full breakdown. Give them the full breakdown of this.
Okay, so I've been
Here we go.
I've been paying attention to this man for a long time. We both had a mutual friend that we was dealing with. And so at the end of the day, I liked his work. I watched all his videos, and of course, I myself, I was pretty much, in the business in that realm as well. And so one day, I kind of caught wind of his establishment. And so I saw him, I said, well, I was like, I'm on my own, I'm just running an errand. And I said, well, let me just go ahead and knock on you. I said, he's like, who? I'm looking at him and be like, who are you? Get out of here. You know what I'm saying? But for real talk though, yeah, he saw me. He like, we just hit it off right, just like in a matter of seconds because, I explained myself, who I was and what it is that, that I did. And of course, and I was already aware of his work.
Yeah.
And so, we kind of just hit it off. We had like long conversations, trying to get to know each other and, just when it comes to experience of like, when it comes to the music. And then, of course, I would get invited, to the, the establishment, and we would like exchange information, you know what I'm saying, feed off each other.
QR invite.
Yeah, you know, QR invite, and, you know, and of course, you know, at the time, you know, I understood, you know, my ground at the time to where, you know, I had to like prove myself, and so which I never mind doing that because I knew what I had going on.
Yeah.
And so, and once we hit it off like that, you know, we've been cool ever since.
It's no different than putting a resume in for a job
and competing
with other people.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
So I get that.
Exactly. So that's pretty much how that started that off, and then so you know, and then as time progressed, you know, again we would exchange information, you know, and toss each other some work.
Yeah.
And you know, and after that, the rest was history. You know.
Right. So, and I believe in that though, because the same thing, I did the same thing with him. I don't even know, I think I was just strolling and he popped up on somebody's timeline. I said, let me check him out. I love music, all kind of music.
Okay.
Let me check him out. Then I checked him, I said, this video looked crystal clear.
Right.
So I started paying attention a little bit more and said, let me see what he's saying. And I think, and like when I'm coaching or whatever, I tell them too that you don't have to oversell yourself. Just be attractive in the marketplace, and they'll be automatically drawn to you. So just like you were drawn to his work, and you guys were able to realize that hey, we do the same thing. This could be a great team. So I think that's good. I also think it's great to study the component that you need.
Right.
So you know if you need somebody to do this, study them, see what they do, if they're consistent or whatever, and okay, this could work. You know?
Right. Right. Yep.
Yeah.
Shoot, I whenever he pulled up, I didn't know. I was like,
who is this?
But nah, he was cool, respectful. Like you know what I'm saying. Like he introduced himself and everything, and I was like, okay, that's what's up. And then then I had somebody was working with me, and then we was like, shoot, we need to just bring him down here. Let's see what he can do. And then shoot, that's really what happened. Like,
see what he got,
And shoot, it was so genuine though. Like it was just like boom, like he was like, you know what, I'm gonna just give it a shot, and it worked. It worked. You know, so shoot. You know what I'm saying? I was like, you know, that's real. I was like, okay, that's what's up, man.
Let me ask you this: with Noah, one thing that I did admire was his professionalism.
Oh yeah.
Very professional, isn't
it?
Yeah.
That's what drew me.
Yes, to him, You think I said this young man is so professional? The word? I mean, you know.
Oh yeah.
Even so like talk about the so like you know how we do classes and stuff on like social media and stuff like that. Talk a little bit about that.
Well the classes
or just talk about. I'm trying to think how I can word it. I'm gonna edit this, y'all. Let me get it together. Hold on.
Well, it's okay. When you say in classes, you mean when you go live and you having people to come in to just look at the work that you guys doing and have them have questions on it?
It's more like pretty much like I don't want to say a self-esteem class, but it's mainly like a self-sufficient type class. Say like if you're trying to motivate yourself to be a better you, especially when it comes down to the expectations of what you have to give people. Sometimes there could be a lot of shadows and barricades that can come towards your path and can like stand in your way. Well, there are classes that you could take for that'll kind of keep you focused and keep you, keep you well in line. You know.
Yeah. Okay. Got that. I offer goal setting classes too, so I feel you.
Yeah.
Right.
I see what he's saying now. I see you ain't gotta edit this out, bro.
I was trying to see how I could word it, because and then also too, but we also go over the social media aspect too.
Right.
So kind of go a little bit about that, or like you don't go too in detail because we ain't trying to give them that.
I got you.
You know, but just kind of give them like
not all the ingredients.
Not all the ingredients, but like a little flavor.
At the end of the day, just stay persistent.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Stay motivated. Definitely stay locked in. Because there will be times to where you may get sidetracked, but always remember, what it is that you're here for, what it is that you're here to do.
So this sparks up a question that I have, like, because it's the brand, and you're bringing others in on the brand, and you're saying these self-development classes, how relevant is that for you guys to make sure everybody's on the same path? Because I represent your brand.
Exactly.
So you guys, this gentleman here, he's representing your brand.
So that's exactly why we do the classes. So to let everybody know that it's a positive mindset. A positive mindset is going to take you further than any other work that you do, because that's going to keep you in the right spirits. You know what I'm saying? So a positive mindset, and just like he said, remember what you're here to do. You know what I'm saying? And you know, we're making these things, but we're making them for the people. So we're really being selfless, because we're giving ourselves to the people so they can, you know, have this as motivation, or take this and like, okay, I learned something from this, or however, you know, needs they may fit them. But regardless of what we're trying to do is put ourselves out there, and we're trying to help others. So if you're trying to help others, you know, you can't be negative. You can't.
Right.
It's certain stuff that you know, like you can't be negative. You can't do this and that, because other day I just had a kid walk up to me asking for a picture and stuff like that, and then you know, I had to tell him about school. You know what I'm saying? Let them know, like, you know, like people gonna bully, people gonna talk, people gonna do what they do. But then I can't be talking positive and then like go on my Instagram and you see sticks and switches and all of that, and this, that, in the air, and turning up on this and that. Like you can't.
That's right. Double standard.
You know what I'm saying? Like you can't do that. You know, say if you're gonna be a role model, you gotta do it right.
And I think that goes back with spirituality. I'm not saying like behind the pulpit preaching type of spirituality. I'm just saying yourself, knowing your spirit, knowing the vibes you're trying to put out there in the community. Because obviously, we're here, Sylacauga, Goodwater, Childersburg, but this is not our end stone. So when people check back for us, and we want to try to go forward, they'll know that, okay, they've been consistent. They are from the rural community, but they got it. So that we want to work with them. And I think that's great with building the brand, making sure that the team understands the brand and the mission of the brand, because ultimately that's what it is. When you go out and you got this QR shirt on, you're representing, you know, that's right. That's right.
And that's what it's all about, you know. And then one rotten apple can spoil the whole bunch. You know what I'm saying? Like one rotten apple can spoil the whole bunch. So, you know, if you trying to do right, but your homeboys is like, nah, man, you good, bro, you good. Nah, do your thing, man. And then they get on live with it. It's like, like, bro, you know what I got going on. You know, you gotta just stay around positive people and you know the right like-minded individuals.
That's correct.
So some closing remarks. Taminko, you got anything to close it out? How you want to do it?
Well, I can not rap. I would have just, came with it. I have to read my stuff. No, but for real, you guys, I just want to say that I am grateful to be here today. It's just a pleasure to meet you. I want you guys to know that, like we said, it's grit. Whatever you're trying to do, you got to have the grit. It has to be in your heart. You can't just wake up one day and say, I'm going to do this just because Bopete doing it, or just because this talented guy is doing it, or because I'm doing it. Like, it's got to be in you. It's got to be in you, because on those down days when nobody's booking, and, and nothing's happening, nothing's moving, you still got to get up and produce. You still got to get up and produce. So keep producing, and the last thing that I want to say is, everybody that is your audience is not on social media. You're going to have to get out and meet people so that they know who you are. Because sometimes people who got the bread to spend is working. So you got to go with it. So that's all I got to say.
And then do you want to give any shout outs or anything like that?
Well, like I said, I want to give a shout out to all my loved ones, my nieces and nephews. Laura, once again, love you, girl. My mom and dad, of course. Well, I should have started off with first, glory to God, because if it wasn't for him, would none of this be possible. Start off with that. And that's pretty much it.
Yes, sir. And we appreciate all Jakylo supporters. And I want to say, y'all, that's it right there, man. So stay tuned. We appreciate everybody for tuning in. And let's get it.
Let's get it.
Cookin' with Jakylo.
Yes.
Let's go.
Yes.